Hello and welcome everyone to the CGL June Major North American Championships. I'm Yelkreb alongside my good buddy Neely today for the final day after a very long week of scrims and qualifiers. We're here. Neely, what teams are you looking out for today? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I would say look out for Azure Esports as well. They did really well a couple of days ago, right before qualifiers, and then during the arena qualifiers, they obviously placed in second. So definitely be looking out for them. They're a team that knows how to find kills the right way. But honestly, getting into this one, what do you think is the current meta for Apex? Because we've talked a lot about the teams, but we haven't really talked a lot about what they run or what we think is good. So I'm interested on your thoughts. Hey, buddy, hold on. I got to ask you this question again. NA Production, since my Yeti absolutely got obliterated, I got to switch you over to a different audio channel and make sure you're coming in, because I don't think you are right now. Well, thank God we noticed that right away.
Mm-hmm. I'm just
All
hanging.
right, bang. We're good to go. Neely, give me your teams to look out for again, because boy, did no one hear you the first time.
Well, I'll keep it quick and I'll go right into your next question after I do this one.
Fantastic.
We've got United, Cotred, Wheeland, Skyhook. DOL Black I've actually seen do pretty good. Maybe it was a different
Yeah.
DOL. A lot of these teams have names and then they have colors next to them. And then I go, is that the same one? There's only a couple that I can truly remember. Azure Esports, as you said, got second place in the in the qualifying rounds, which is huge. It's not the same thing as this, but it's still gunplay. It's still Apex. And then of course, you have Yuzu Dog Purple that runs a similar comp to Koch Red. Koch Red runs the Rev Octane, I would say, a lot better because they run it with the Bloodhound. Yuzu Dog Purple runs the Gibraltar to help them in late game. Sadly, I don't believe they make it there as much as Koch Red does in teams like United. Next question. What are the good characters? I just named a couple, but Gibby. I mean, he's on almost every single team. He
Almost
almost
all of them.
seems
And we make
he
a big deal about
almost
it when it's Final Circle, and he's not, because that ultimate is really best countered by the bubble.
exactly. That's the thing is what he brings. You need one of your own to counter, as you just said, and it's when you don't have it. We've seen Koch Red in these qualifiers, in these scrims, run into United a million times. I was actually talking to one of
Yeah.
Koch's players because they don't run Gibraltar, and I was like, "Why?" I was like, "I think I know why, but why don't you run a Gibby? You run the Bloodhound. And, it's for that mid game. They jump in with the Revolt. They scan. They know exactly where everybody is, and they focus somebody down. They get so much value out of that Revolt. That's why I think they're better at that comp than Yuzu Dog Purple. But I could see Yuzu making it if they got further, they could beat out Koch because they have that Gibby. Gibby seems so key to that final circle because when you don't have him, rotations are great, but it's just when you don't have anything to land with, it's so deadly. And then you have United. What do they run? They run Gibby, Octane, and I believe they are now sticking 100% with the Valkyrie. I saw them try a couple different things, but I think they just like to be like, we're here, we don't like this, we're going to do a big rotation. And then they have Octane for the small rotations, and then they have, of course, the Gibby to just be a Gibby all the time. And everybody on United is unbelievable. I would say they won most of the days in scrims. They are probably your number one team going into this. I don't know what the seeding truly was from
Well,
the
the seeding
qualifying,
was, yeah,
but
just the seating is what you can see right now. Well, you Neely, not chat yet,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
like
Okay.
yeah, all the spectate binds that you have, that is actually the seeding. So OMG is number one, which is a shocker. Azure
Wow.
Esports, having it be arena qualifiers, it makes some sense that they're there because they definitely knew how to find the kills yesterday, just didn't know how to get to the end game and win the game. So I'm not surprised
Yeah.
that the seeding is what it is. I don't think the top teams are at the very top. Definitely like look out for United. They're all the way down at number 6, but they are hands down the favorite after a week of scrims watching them.
At least from us. I would imagine from most people, but I know that they multiple times ended about 20 points up. But, can we talk about like a rivalry potentially here? It seems like we got a little bit of time right
We do,
here,
and we do have a little bit of a rivalry developing. You want to tell them what's been going on in the Discord chats the last couple of days?
So I love it because I come from Overwatch. Everyone says it's so toxic. All games are toxic, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody has an ego. Everybody has an opinion. And between Koch-Ren and Wieland Skyhook, let's just say Wieland Skyhook doesn't respect the Revenant comp, and Koch-Ren runs the Revenant comp. They got a little bit of shade tossed their way, maybe some calls to bag the Rev team. So I'm excited to see bags, hopefully from both sides, when they find each other on the map. Because if they find each other on the map, it's kind of an important fight, I just think, for the storyline in itself.
Yeah, any other storylines you're looking to see out there? Wieland Skyhook. They started in scrims with just a solo queuer, and now they're one of the more favored teams in this, but they end up dying a lot of the time toward Fragment West. So you think they make that push on the final day or play to survive a little longer in this game?
I mean, they're still going to land Skyhook. There's no way that they're going to change that because we've seen them win Skyhook a ton of times where they do just go, we're going to assert dominance in Skyhook. And that's another thing with Skyhook as we see these teams pick characters. Kurt runs Crypto. I almost said Octane, my bad. But Crypto, great character. Not as easy to run as Bloodhound, but gets a lot of value, especially when those teams kind of get slowed down late game. You're kind of just holed up in a building. Yeah, you can scan, or you can pull up that drone and find out where everybody is. EMP is a great team fight ultimate. I love that comp, personally.
It's definitely a good comp. I want to talk. Okay. Did that happen for you?
Match ended.
Yep, okay.
So I believe, my guess is it was, I feel like there may have been a misclick on that start because OMG did not have 3 people. So I know we can't wait all day for everybody, of course, but I'd also imagine we'd like to have all the teams and the players here as best as we can.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right about that.
Absolutely. I'm just watching a chat right now, just seeing kind of what's going on there. Putting myself back up in the observer, but there was some DCs. Well, at least it happened in the beginning, right?
Yeah, that would have been awful if it happened a minute and a half into the game after the drop.
Absolutely, because then it's like, people already landed. They kind of got some armor, some guns. Maybe they got a couple kills, and you take that away from them. It's not gonna ruin the whole thing. This is a very big thing that I like about these tournaments is that it's not just drop a couple games. Whoever has the most points, it's over because then it's so RNG based. It's about consistency. It's about making it to those 50 points and then locking in that win once you get to 50 points and trying to clinch that money prize here, Yelk.
Yeah, how much is on the line today? Do you know off the top of your head? We haven't actually said it yet.
We haven't. I have the one that we've said, and then I thought I saw something else somewhere else. So I didn't want to say it and misspeak. But I have it written down in front of me what I think it is, and you just tell me what you think it is.
Okay. Am I supposed to tell you first? It's 250. It was 500 between 500 between EU and NA. 250.
Okay. That's what I saw. Okay. And check the Discord when you get the chance there, Yelk.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, cool.
Are we getting
that's my one job.
Back in there?
I don't do
it's good you have that
I
job.
check Discord chat. I got it on lockdown. I get notifications on my PC. I have my phone open, plugged in, not dying on me today. But yeah, it looks like we're just going to be trying to get everybody into this lobby. I think my mic was still cut out, but at one point I had said that I got to talk to one of Koch Red's teammates or players, and I asked them about why they prefer to run the Bloodhound over the Gibby, and it's so they can get those scans and they can focus them down. Pardon me if I'm repeating myself, but it's kind of hard. I think I got cut off midway through that because my mic was not coming through. But again, we're gonna have to see. I talked to Koch and I said, "Have you thought about running the Gibby?" They're like, "We have, but we like this. It really gets our KP up mid game. It makes us really strong contenders when it comes to points." And we're working on trying to fix our end game strategies, and hopefully today, for their sake, they're going to be able to come out here and fix those end game strats. Part of the end game strats are because I mean I saw it multiple times. United would be on one side, Koch Red on the other. Circle goes, United. Now Koch Red without that Gibby resource is not able to make that push, and that's the difference between United and Koch. If United doesn't get the pull, they still can make a rotation pretty aggressively, and they have that Gibby to fortify them in.
Yeah, and Gibby's good at exactly that. I mean, he is the tank. We're both tank players from Overwatch, so he's the one where we just know, like, oh, there, right there. That's value. All right, you are coming over. Your webcam is being weird right now. All right, that's a temporary fix. Kind of messes up my frame, but gets rid of that. So that'll be better going forward. How's the game good to looking? Me. Are we still yet to drop? Yeah, all the teams. No, not quite all the teams are in here. Who we missing? DOL Black, Koch Black, HPV just filled out their team finally.
The team that was doing pretty good in some of the later scrims was Vallacy Gaming. They seemed to kind of come in and shock a little bit. So I don't think they weren't beating up on United, but United. Scrims matter, people. Exactly as Yelk said, we come from Overwatch, where you do tons of scrims, and these scrims are a little bit different, but still just kind of getting into a lobby where it's not ranked. I'm not Predator, I'm not Masters, I'm not good. But I've heard even in those lobbies, people tend to kind of push for KP, push for kills, kind of play a little more loose. And then when you get into these lobbies, it's very locked down. Everyone's timid. And again, those were even scrims, Yelk. These are not scrims. This is all on the line. There's going to be some people playing timid. People are going to play differently. I feel like Koch is going to still be one of our most consistent teams. I'm getting a little wind on your end. But
getting a little wind? Oh, well, it's coming through the game because of your Parsec.
It's my goodness.
Yeah.
Good call. I'm like, what? What is that all about?
Believe it or not, it's the game.
This is your champion.
I was like, my game's muted. What's going on?
What is this? Is this Koch Red for the champion squad?
I think so. I mean, that is one of the champ squads that do not matter. Either way here.
Hey, don't feel bad, brother. Gibraltar still loves you.
Where our good friends Koch Red at, Neely?
Maybe next
Number 5.
They're way up there.
I say we land here.
So we pretty much have a good idea where most of these teams end up going. United gonna be dropping Sorting Factory.
Let's scope this quadrant.
Yep.
Skyhook
Absolutely.
obviously going where they're named after, and then Koch Red, KOD usually end up in Fragment. KOD sometimes does land more toward Geyser, but for the most part they always end up in Fragment East in the mid game. And then Azure Esports plays the left side of the map if they can. Most of these teams gambling on northern pulls for the end circle, but I would say for the most part, Neely, over scrims and whatnot, we have seen southern, if not southeast, pulls for the final zone.
I do feel like it pulls there more often than not. Obviously, it's completely RNG up into a point, so it's just kind of on a small sample size that we've gotten to see. But either way, Koch Red looks like they're landing way east of Fragment. But that's another thing we were talking about. KOD, right? KOD seems to have a bit of an identity crisis on where they land sometimes. They're one of the better teams in this tournament, and it seems like they can't find a spot to land that they can call theirs. United's like, we are Sorting Factory, get out of here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they've just egoed every single team out of that spot of the map. It's kind of been fun to watch. It seemed like 4 days ago the challengers finally stopped coming to just take on United in this part of the map, and United just does have a fairly free path to at least the top 15 squads before they get into a real engagement. But a lot of the time they will just run around and chase their first one. They know they're a team that's capable of getting those kills stacked up in a game, and they've proven to do it scrim after scrim.
Absolutely. Looks like we might have some fighting going on. Maybe already a team wipe here. Yuzu Dog has 2 kills and an assist right now. Who did they wipe? If they even got the wipe. Looks like Catalyst, potentially?
ATF and Team Meanies are already out of this one. Wow, OMG playing as a duo with Octane and Wraith. Already getting a squad wipe. That is pretty impressive.
Movement. Absolutely. Skyhook is quieter than I've ever seen in any of these scrims. Like, it's only 2 teams right now. A little bit of fighting down in the southwest, it looks like. Between Nas.
Fighting in the southwest. We can head that way, but it seems like...
They already got cleaned
back
up.
off. Did they get wiped or did they? Oh yeah, 16 squads left. What did we miss? I was watching Claypool do trials because I just always like to watch the trials.
And we gotta get warmed up. Looks like Nas was the team that got knocked out.
Well, United in their first engagement, they just hopped off of Balloon and they're looking for the KP. They've already thrown out that bubble for you. He's got to get a bat off, get those shields back. Meantime, Elusive, and it's going to be Viguk, are still pushing in on these kills despite Foria lagging behind. Neely, are they going to make another one? Do they think they have this kind of aggression to just roll in to this spot on the map and take this?
Seems like they have a good chance to. Their resources are high and they put out a lot of damage right now. Viguk's the only one who's kind of low. Foria's going to be, Elusive is going to be pushing in with that speed boost, but not really going to be able to secure anything here, but they do take the space.
And they've got it. They're slowly pushing them back. Good crack there from Foria. Now just moving in even more. The pressure's still on. And Viguk does go down. Foria does get that cleanup. Elusive has gone down as well. It's all up to Foria. This is not a team that can get lost this early in the match. Good bubble dancing there. Go on. Take it.
Trying to get a recovery here. Now the such really bad for Foria. He said on Twitter he can't even take the money, but he might be going out with his team. Hitting some good shots on his bubble. Has a chance to still win this. Viguk gets the recovery and is going to get a knock right there. United clutch early. It was looking dire for them, especially after we would have castered cursed them out of their minds by talking about them for 50% of the pregame.
Yeah, they do end up with 3 KP right there out of their first engagement, which seemed pretty early, to be honest. And they've got this zone of the map locked down. I'm going to jump on. Who should we go on with next? Does it look like there's any action, or is it a total calm before the next? So I'm going to hop on with Wheeland Skyhook here. They've got the high ground finally going into the city, and they might end up clashing with this team. Who is this? Gods.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 4.
Do your best to find out. I'm just keeping an eye on the map because we missed a few fights, and a lot of that's on me because I was just kind of riding along with you, talking about some stuff, trying to figure out some other stuff on the side. But right now, it looks like everyone's relatively split right now, and yeah, I would say you're about right. That is the closest engagement, and it's starting.
Going in now, Winterfall does get that down. Seems like another shotgun shot was hit there. Kurt trying to go in for this kill. Building the Gibby bubble is down. It's not going to be helping at all. Chi-Town cleaned up. Claypool still in a fight of his own, trying to push into this building.
He wants it, but he knows better. He's going to call for the retreat on his own. Look, gets lasered a little bit there. If he stayed any longer, it might have resulted in a down here. Just trying to loot up off this one guy. That's why finishing is so key in these tournaments, because you need all the resources they have immediately.
Right now they're just getting bombarded, but it seems like the action has subsided here in Skyhook. Maybe not 2 teams in the same building. This is God Squad in another fight.
Just trying to recover by themselves here. They're just not looking too good, and Skyhook is way too close to them right now, and they are full HP.
A tense spot for Wheeland Skyhook to be in. Another team we would hate to see go early. Definitely pulling for these guys. I mean, they've reached out on Discord saying that they're loving the tournament, loving how the scrims went all week long. So I really don't want to see them go early. United getting involved again. Viguk is going to blast off here. Maybe hunt for
Just a
some action,
scan.
maybe not. Probably just a scan. You're right.
He didn't take any of his crewmates with him. He's going on a solo flight, it looks like. Trying to see if he can find anything. He's going to fly over here. Is he really going to go? I was going to say, I think he's going to peel back. I wasn't sure if he was going to peel down, take that loon, and then go for another scan, but he's just going to come right back to his team and just chill out. Looks like we have a fight on your screen, top right. But also down there could be a fight as well. Lower a little bit,
head down
purple.
here because I don't know if these teams know they're about to fight each other. This is going to be HRV and not stopping yet. So we've got HRV coming in as the 4 seed after qualifiers. Not stopping yet. Pretty far down on the list, so definitely not favored in this fight. We'll see what they can do once these two teams meet. Going back up into the top right, it looks like Yuzu Dog did win that fight. They've got a squad wipe under their belts. And it seems like they finally picked up some enemies as well, so it's going to be tricky for them to get their feet set in the zone.
Yeah, absolutely. They're kind of deep out here. But the thing is, the circle doesn't really scare some of these teams. The only thing that scares them is that they're going to have to come in and have to fight this team who just came in on here. This is going to be really tough because they're just going to be gating this circle for the KP. They would like to get on the board early if they possibly can.
And it looks like this team is going to be pushing up. They do know of Yuzu Dog as well. Yuzu Dog finally starting to turn and respect it. They've gotten shot a couple of times, it looks like. Maybe not. Maybe just pushing out of the zone, getting those peeks in. But they definitely seem aware of the team's presence. Yeah, we've got the red ball coming out now. They give you bubble as well. The fight taking place in the zone and out of the zone. And Yuzu Dog wants this KP. They've just picked up a squad wipe. Coming in the zone, fully aggressive. Sliding down the hill is Tiggly. Putting some good shots in, getting a crack before getting sent back finally. And it's now up to his teammates. Jump padding in. Nearly, this is already action-packed. Yuzu Dog came to play today.
Absolutely did come to play today. They've got some points on the board. They tried to go in. It seemed like they were a little bit out of sync. The Gibby coming in the latest. Maybe he had to try to recover. They're going to lay that Gibraltar all right on top of them, forcing on the deck. And now they're just going to be peeking around here. Those Toothless is going to with his death protection. Going to shoot his friend in the back a little bit as well.
Getting this down is HT Ninja, but just barely missing those shots as they were weaving around the targets. It seems like for now, KTZ will get away. Yuzu backs off a little bit. United is getting
in
right now.
Bubbles out right now. Yeah, if you can get to them.
Bubbles out. Remember the push.
And not.
And Elusive get in there. It is just Fire City here. Furia does get that kill, and it seems like that was the entire squad, or am I wrong about this?
They just finished this guy to try to move on through, unless there's 2 boxes there. Maybe they did. Not entirely sure. I'd have to check the map for myself. No. Well, no, because everyone else is alive unless Sizzle and Frank over there are the buddies of that one man. But either way, they got some more KP on the board. United just trying to do their thing, trying to not play any different than they did in scrims all week, because that is the point of scrims.
Now getting into our champion squad, Koch Red, as they're taking some flack from the right side, but just trying to run out of fragment toward that next zone, get a good rotation in while they can, and try to just take as little lead as possible.
Absolutely. That's just kind of what rotations are sometimes. You know, people taking pop shots at you, trying to maybe whittle you down, just taking some resources out of you, because bullets do not cost as much as shield cells and shield bats. That's why shield swaps are so important, to try to not waste some of those resources and to get you back in the fight so quickly.
What do we have maybe going on? This seems like a very heavily congested part of the map. It's going to be HRV and Wheeland Skyhook already trading some shots. Claypool falls early, but the charge rifle is going to keep him at bay for long enough to hopefully get this res. Waterfall does take a nade to the feet, and now they are on the back foot. Kurt trying to do anything he can to just get involved in this action. This is when it's hard on Crypto to just keep the space you've taken, especially with Claypool, your Gibraltar, already down in the fight.
Does hit an EMP right there, which is going to force the retreat, and now there's a third party in their back. It's going to give a chance, potentially. Maybe it's not a third party. I don't actually know. It seems like it. Seems like some things are going on.
But United
Someone's
is
playing
chasing the fight
Vanguard,
as
though.
well. I mean, that part of the map is popping up, but it seems like as the zone is starting to tighten, we're seeing fights all over the place. Foria does get the finish there. That might have been the last remaining member of that previous fight they were in. So back to the action with HRV. Good down right there on Able Cruz. They're able to push up on this clip, and now I think they've only got Skyhook to worry about. No, Apex Trice still up there. Seems like 2 members still up there alive. Denox has got to be careful not to overextend, and it seems like HRV, a little too aggressive here, will end up being wiped unless this Eva clutch is real with the multiple angles. Taking a tough, can he clutch this? No, he does end up going down. Fantastic play from Apex Trade to not let them get away with something they shouldn't.
United's right into it. They have a knock as of right now. You can go over here though, because we got a hot pursuit as well. Stuff's going to be happening everywhere, folks.
More
it's so
interested
hard
in the
to keep on
hot
everything.
pursuit. More interested in the
I
hot
agree.
pursuit.
I agree.
Sensei Service, this is the 3 seed chasing after KTZ.
KTZ just holding, gonna go out for the rev push here. A lot of people running rev here today. Not as much rev in scrims, but good character, can't say he's not. And here they go. Going for the jump, a little bit of a miscommunication right there. Flying out to try to fortify him. Time while they're here, both damage done, and now he's gonna get sent back. That's the beauty of Revenant. Just gonna get sent back, and then you're gonna send yourself back in with that jump pad, trying to keep that pressure up.
Service with a pretty good play around that Gibraltar bubble, peeking away from a lot of damage, but in the end they will fall. The rev push just too much for them to handle, and these reses will come through. Everyone should get back in. Claypool, though, he saw the action, and he wants to get involved. Actually, no, just getting off of this respawn. That's what he's doing over there. All right, well, it's good to have him back in the fight. What's
They
United
will be getting contested here. There's no way that teams aren't going to push that that respawn right there. Everybody sees the respawn. Usually is heavily contested. Oh, the knock right there. Tracking going straight up. It is easy to hit those shots sometimes because it's a straight line, but he hits some headshots, a crack, and takes him right off.
Trying to finish off that player down by that balloon. United has just held the space. They've been running laps around this segment of the map. They know this is where the action's really got to start to transpire for you. Get some shields cracked. He's got a lace Rich Alex, and this is Cotred coming in now. And United trying to bat them away. The Gibraltar res an attempt to come through, and now it's going to have to be Cotred stepping up to just keep United back. They've got to get this res off. Trying again now. Foria steps in, but gets down by Fence Jumper. Elusive and Viguk are there. They clean up too. One more of Cotred goes down, and that is the champion squad wiped by United, and they've got the new kill leader in Viguk.
We gotta try to get Foria back, and they're gonna be hotly contested here, Yelk. Maybe not. They're just gonna get it off and probably get a chance to recover. Oh, there is a Watson team.
They said they'd do it.
Yeah. Then, you know,
This
Watson's
looks outrageous.
It does. But it does what it's supposed to do. Locks down the doors, makes it hard for you to push in. No way for you to shoot any of those little fence poles because of how far away they are from the door. So they're basically going to be locked in there the entire time. United just going to be trying to find their way back into the circle.
Yeah, they should get there, no problem at all. And they are kitted for the end game. They've got the Valkyrie ult online as well, so they're going to pick exactly where they want to end up. Probably not yet, though, as there's 8 squads left. The risk is still high for getting shot in the middle of that ultimate. Going around the rest of the zone here. Frankenator trying to survive. Not sure he's going to be able to weasel his way in this circle. And now it seems like Azure Esports are just looking to get a little bit frisky as the zone is finally starting to edge some players out and into their field of view.
This is what I remember from Azure Esports. It seems like they play a very passive game, all based on placement and just trying to find their way, but they just won't have much damage, and they just kind of get those placement points. I mean, placement points start getting huge over these next couple placements. If you can survive through 3 more squads, you're going to be getting at least 4 or 5 KP.
And right now we do see Wheeland Skyhook trying to shoot down KTZ as they will rotate in, and they're going to be coming right up on a team whether they know it or not. And they're up on the cliff. Kinetics does throw down that jump pad, so they'll have an opportunity to push, but Whiskey has gone down, and it looks like Skyhook wants to push into this. They've got to be careful up for that third-party team on that cliff as well. Maybe not pushing too far past this Jeep, just controlling this choke point is going to be tough enough. KTZ playing out of this bubble, not looking like they will end up being pushed by DOL Black, who just remains on this cliff. This will end up in the next zone as well. So let's hop right back over and see how Skyhook is doing.
Cool. Claypool gonna get that knock. They use the EMP to get rid of that Gibraltar bubble, which just opens up the entire team. And then these long-range guns get so much value. Huge charge rifle shots. These guys are gonna go down. There's no way they make it out of this one. Only one of them has a little bit of shields left. The other one's fresh. Gets knocked. One left. They're gonna get the thirst on another.
Checking back in with United as we see what their plan is as this zone closes. It looks like it is to just stay put. So now over to DOL Black, who just saw that entire fight happen below them. They've got to decide what they want to do atop this rock.
Absolutely. They're just gonna hold it though. Two people. Just trying to get as many placement points as they can. Wraith gonna use the port. This person goes down. It's placement points for everybody. Everyone wants this guy out of the lobby.
Stick! Wow! Frankinator falls. Oh, that was not KTZ. That was the solo and Frankinator who had the toughest task in getting back into that zone. Now United finally trading out some shots. It seems like there's a team right above them, but I'm not quite sure who it is among these. Could have been Azure Esports. Could have been somebody else.
I don't know, but that stick. You love seeing a nice stick.
Yeah, that was clean on the Frankinator.
Because he was gonna die either way. But that put the exclamation point right in the center of it. We know that Skyhook has some great positioning right here. They do not have circle positioning, but they should have a semi-easy rotation into this high ground that's gonna be just in the circle.
Yeah, that does look fantastic for them. United will be inching along this building, but it's gonna run out after this zone, so their positioning is only short-lived. We finally got this fight breaking out now for DOL Black, who has just gotten wiped. No, DOL Black came out on top. How did KTZ get up there and end up falling in that fight? I'm not sure. I wish I caught that.
Yeah, I do too, but it's okay. We got Azure Esports here. They didn't catch it either. They've got this building locked down, and it's in Cirque, Yelk. They're getting points right now. That's all I can say. They've locked in those placement points as good as they can.
It's going to be very tricky for United to get out of this with Skyhook in such prime territory with throwable still. Claypool wanting to throw in that Gibby ult too. That is going to be a wake-up call when United steps out of that zone. But now we've got DOL Black making their rotation, pushing right into the back of Wheeland Skyhook.
Oh, Gateful, I think, hit himself with that ultimate a little bit. Unless that wasn't his own ult, and it was. He did toss his ult right there, and kind of stepped into it a little bit like you do sometimes, yo.
I'm famous for it, Neely. I've used many bubbles just to bail myself out of an ultimate that I threw at my shoelaces, and it looks like Claypool did it right there just to keep him at bay, but now Skyhook is going to be under some serious pressure. This zone tightening means that the only two teams left with good positioning. Actually, DOL Black finds themselves on top of a fantastic cliff, but a lot of ranged weapons on the side of Skyhook are going to be doing a great job of keeping him at bay. Skyhook is set up fantastic with their weapons for this open field fight.
Absolutely. Everyone right now guaranteed 5 placement points at the very least. If you go down now, you get your 5 points and match that with your kill points. And United, we got 6, we got 4, and we got, well, that's Claypool. But either way, Clay's going to get one, but Claypool's going to go down from United. United is coming in on the back foot, getting all these cracks and damage. The positioning that was so poor for United, they're just coming in and picking this up.
And they were lacing shots on the cliff too. DOL Black is playing scared even though they are in the most valuable spot on this map. Perfect timing by United to engage and get both of those downs onto Skyhook. Skyhook, I believe now, is out of this game. And DOL Black, I mean, they do have one player down. It is up to Elix. Is that how you say that name? I think so. Oh man, you can hear all of these. You can hear all these footsteps around him. This just makes it so tense.
Oh, they're focusing that jump pad. They're going to get it. He has no rotation. He shouldn't use it. If he was going to throw it, he had to use it.
And you can see United putting the shots in. Azure, they finally do take down DOL Black, and now United just has to take care of the number 2 seed Azure Esports, and they're taking the prime position. Each team knows they got to fight for this rock. Vega gets the first down onto Knight. Bubble thrown out by Azure. They put some good shots in just to keep United at bay. These bats are going to come. Gibraltar ults, like we've said, only countered by these bubbles. moving in now is Elusive, and he is Elusive dodging damage, and that is the squad wipe. United has one player left to take care of, and they are our first champion.
Yeah. So in the beginning of this game, Squad 15, they had 2 guys down, able to get the recovery because Foley managed to stay alive, and now they are your champions. That's the thing with some of these games, is which way you cut it. Sometimes you almost go out, and then the trials and tribulations of that game, you still pan out with a win, and sometimes you can't even believe it yourself. But I can kind of believe it because it's United.
I can too, and they pick up 19 kills in that, so that is going to put them in an insane lead. We're going to go to a brief intermission right now, but hang tight. We're going to have game number 2 coming up in just a few minutes.
And we're back again, one more time. We had a little bit of a server crash, but either way, we're back. We're gripping onto our seats, and we're hoping that we can stay in for this one. Yelk had a bit of a prediction. Did they crash, or was it because we were reading Team 19, Team 13 for the first 2 minutes, and they're like, we can't have this now? The server actually crashed. We're back in now. No one really got anything done, luckily, so, again, these things happening at the beginning are kind of clutch for us right now, so we can move right along. We don't play a full match and then have it crash, and then it means nothing. So, either way, going into map number 2 or match 2, whatever you want to call it, Yelk, who you looking at? Who's your prediction for game 2 win?
I honestly think that United, I think they take the next 2. They've given me no reason not to think it should be them, Neely, and I think you're probably agreeing with me. Contra Red was bounced early in that game because they lost a member early, and you can see the champion squad right there. I mean, they're my favorites. Until you hear champion squad eliminated, I think they're the favorites. As long as they're in the game, I'm going to favor them over everyone all day long because they've never given me a reason to doubt them. Are you agreeing, or are you looking for someone else that you think is actually going to beat them this next game?
I'm going to go, because, you can't have the same opinion as the other caster, I love United. We all love United.
Hey, you can.
But
I mean, when a favorite is this strong, you kind of can.
I felt like Skyhook performed really, really well in that game. They came back from the depths. They got a respawn using the crypto. They got value out of crypto in game 1 multiple times. So that could just be the difference maker for this team. Crypto's a little bit harder to use, but at the same time, gets you all that kind of value.
United coming into Sorting Factory alone yet again. And are we seeing a fight already break out? DOL Black. It looks like Alex was taking some shots there. Bubble does get thrown out by Gateful, so this is a team that is preparing to fight. Not quite sure if they're going to see one or if we're going to see the action subside. It looks like Sensei Cerebus, our 3C, they do want to get more involved in this game. They definitely came up short in game number 1, and they need some early KP and to really end this game with a high amount of points. Starting to get pretty well kitted up, too. A couple of R301s on this team, and they're ready to go once they get a couple of shields.
I just say, through all the weeks of scrimming, everything that I've seen, Wheeland Skyhook has finally established their dominance of this city. They have Trials locked down, they have 2 guys in Skyhook, and not a single other team is to be had, but looking like maybe a bit of a poke war going on the northeast of this map, but not much, no pushes are coming out right now.
I mean, it's looking very congested down here between Sensei, HRV, and who is this team? DOL Black, I believe. And they're pushing up on this rock finally. The crack has already been gotten, and it's going to be JCY going down very early. Sensei is not looking to get 2 games where they don't even crack into the top 10. And it's all up to Trap Nerdly, and it does not look good for him, Neely.
Yeah, it does not look good. He's a Valkyrie. He's got some movement, but everyone's got Noctane. They're going to be hounding you out. They want that KP, but I don't know. Maybe he's going to get away. Maybe they don't chase it. These fights, I've always heard in these kind of lobbies that you can't have a fight last more than 20 seconds. You can't get caught chasing because that's when third parties happen. That's when bad things happen. And it looks like we have HRV kind of being that other team. They're low on resources and trying to regroup here. And here's that southern pole we were talking about. Skyhook's going to have a long rotation. Trap Nerd is
He got away, man. He got away.
Yeah,
Sensei needs to stay alive. I mean, he's got nowhere to go, it seems like, but maybe he can swing back in for those banners. He's got to make one hell of a move here to recover for his team. Sensei Cerebus, our 3 seed, struggling very hard in this championship day.
That's the thing, is arenas are so much different from this game. Like, you have one that's Call of Duty, you have one that's a Battle Royale. I know Call of Duty has Battle Royale, but you know what I mean. The lobbies where you just go fight back and forth, search and destroy style. And it's just completely different. You have no rotation game. Comps are much different with what works. Certain guns work better just because of how expensive or inexpensive they are. So there's a lot different from some of those top teams. And I know one of the top teams has a player missing right now. I think he's still in class or something. That's what I always said for the NECC.
You're lucky, I like it.
Yeah, OMG, they're playing with a duo. They were #1 in our qualifiers in the arenas, and they are playing as a duo, so that's pretty scary for them. It looks like United was able to just win a fight. What'd you say?
OMG, one of their players disconnected. They had 2, they're down to 1.
Oh, are you serious? Oh, no.
He could be back because he hasn't been booted from the lobby.
Yeah, I mean, he can get back in, but still, won't be set up very well. OMG is out of the circle, so once it closes, he's got some time to get back, but still, I am rooting for Ariel to get back in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Has a chance to peek in this map right now. Trap Lord is going across it, just hanging on for dear life. A couple of shots flew at him. They cracked the shield while he was in the air, but he's just going to be hanging on here, yo. Not much else he can do. But at the same time, when you're one guy, you're a little harder to find. It's way easier to see 3 people than 1, but if you get into a real fight, 3 is obviously much better than 1.
And he looks pretty safe on the map, too. Not many teams around him that pose a threat, so he should be able to survive at least well into this next zone, but he really is just playing for that survival points to get his team up on the leaderboard because they need to start racking them up and racking them up quickly. We said that at the start, and this is just not the start they were looking for. They're really going to be trying to just scrap together anything they can. United, they've got Sorting Factory locked down. They've gotten the next scan of the upcoming zone as well, and they're just loving their positioning on this map. This is why they go Sorting Factory. They gamble on these southern poles, and they can get to all of them with ease.
Yeah. Oh, God. Excuse me.
Fight there from United as they just get right into the action and mix it up with that Valkyrie ult, picking off the Gibraltar first, and then there was no way for them to take that space back. Fantastic team wipe to go down to the launch site and get some KP there and get Elusive back in the game. Make sure he didn't fall for you, though, with those Peacekeeper bubble peaks. That looked fantastic. He was so calm and just was charging those shots up and lacing every single one of them for 60 or 70. That's exactly what you need for your Gibraltar.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guarantee he used one of my favorite calls that I use with some of my teammates, which is, I need you to look at me with your gun right now. Because he knows when he plays outside of it, he knows where VGUK is. And if he can pull the shield peak to the left, VGUK's going to be able to put shots on him at the same time as he's taking those PK shots, making it a 2v1, and Gibraltar has the bubble and his own personal shield to deal with. So they're able to take that fight. Do the big recovery. That's the thing with United. It's not like they just walk in and kill everybody without taking their own bruises. They know they're going to get bumped. They know they're going to get bruised. But they always just seem to recover and then clutch when they absolutely have to.
Contrad about to get into a fight at the entrance of Geyser with KTZ, but they've locked down the building they're choosing. And it doesn't look like they're going to be poking their heads out anytime soon. They want to get some more information before they really start to let loose some lead. And it looks like we did just see a squad wipe there. DOL, it seems like, has been taken out of this game very early, and Dnox came up with all of those kills. Who's our current kill leader?
Yeah. Let's check it out on the match stats. Well, actually, I might not show who is current. HRV is our kill leader of a squad, though, which means high likelihood that they might have the kill leader upon it. But also maybe not. Nope, 3 kills. It could be a 3-way tie. Who truly knows? Sometimes they give it to one person even though it's tied, so Not too important here. Koch Red, though, this is one thing that I've said about them. Since they do not run the Gibby, the way they have a Gibby is by having a house. Ooh, kinetics. Whiskey falling low. Gonna have to recover with this Phoenix kit right here, and if he can pull it off, it'll be huge. Folks, wouldn't be a stream if it wasn't almost impossible. God Squad, I believe, just got a squad wipe right onto Wheeland Skyhook, so they're going to be out at number 11, which is devastating for them. But there's so much fighting going on right now, and it's really going to be tough to keep track right now. ATF taking some shots, landing them right into this game. You got to find that knock.
That's on the
Aim so
Koch.
sick. That is on the Koch. You'd be correct. ATF getting one onto Robot Knight. I believe that's their blood. No, it's. Who would that be? I thought that was their blood player.
It might be the Octane player with Rich Alex. I think he might be playing something else. I don't know. You got to go over to Koch, hit 5. Here's the Gibby.
Wait, Koch Red's not running.
Not running the Rev Octane. Yeah.
That's crazy that they scrimmed that so much and aren't even going to run it right now. That's why I was like, wait, it looks like a Gibby got knocked. But now they're just going to have to hunker right down inside of this building. Either way, it looks like we're going to go over here. It looks like United's into a fight right now. And it's getting heated and getting hot. Maybe they already finished. It says...
Who are they fighting? They're already getting Gibraltar altered? Or is that Foria who used his ultimate? I can't quite tell.
Hard to tell. It looks like they're going to be disengaging. God Squad's the only one that's nearby right now. They're just going to be healing and recovering. Sadly, I do not know the binds for these teams, so I know we got 6 right here. 5 for another one.
2 is Azure
tough.
Esports. Go check in with them. How do you not write these down?
Because I am not spectating.
You don't write them down for yourself, though? Like, they're sick to have. I don't know. Always be ready, Cam. We've already gone to a stream one time where we had to do this.
No,
You should know by now that this is within the realm of possibilities. In fact, it's certainly within the realm of possibilities.
The last time I wrote them down, they were all wrong. Somehow.
That's actually true also. I don't know how you do it.
I just do this. Big beams right here. ATF's been doing pretty decent. I don't know who our kill leaders are. Let's see. Gonna be United, no shock there, and God Squad's gonna be right there in second. There's just going to be so much going on right now. I'm not sure who's going to be doing the going on. Looks like these guys are in a pretty tough spot as Azure Esports. Walking down these buildings, staring them down, staring them dead in the eye.
They might be in the easiest spot of all. I mean, as long as no team pushes their building, they can choose to just stay out of a fight if they please. But United is going to have to make their way into the circle, and they're going to have to find kills to get in, too. From that southwest side of this breaking in. Even though they've got a pretty easy route to just get in and find that natural cover by the tunnel, it's going to be pretty difficult to set their footing along that cliff with 2 other teams coming in to contest the zone.
Yeah, absolutely. You said United, correct?
Yeah.
United's going to have to make that rotation, but everyone's going to be making rotations. God Squad, one of our kill leaders, they are in second right now, right behind United, but they've been doing pretty good, and they're rotating in to this circle, and they're going to be right next to somebody laying in some shots here early with the flat line with that 3 times on it.
Source just playing this high ground perfectly. He's got the 3 times on. Another team set up for range in the end game. This is what you like to see from God Squad. Really able to rack up the damage. If they can get it down here, that kill is all said and done. There are 2 teams in these buildings that split across this little pathway, and that's going to be Claypool going down. Oh no, that's Wheeland Skyhook with the bad positioning on the low ground. A very tricky zone for them to get into, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to with Claypool down.
Going to be tough. Azure still just got their building locked down. They've been playing for this all game. I don't know who is going to be the most intense team. I'm trying, folks.
Go to United. Just go to United. When in doubt, press 6. When in doubt again, press 5. But I like this. It looks like United getting Gibraltar altered, so they're going to have to find a way more into this zone. It seems like the next one is going to be closing very close to them along this cliff, so maybe I was wrong about what I said before. Maybe most of the fighting is going to be happening around those buildings, and they might be able to stay out of it, Neely, but still, you would like to think that any team would like to get United out of the game and push them and just take that chance because you do not want to meet them with 3 squads left.
Absolutely not. Contra Red still hanging on. They've had some tough rotations themselves, but they got the Gibby, so maybe they're just hanging on a little bit more here. I believe those shots are going out on the God Squad.
We've just got a
Where did
long
that go?
poke phase here. United getting alted again and scanned. So the aggression is being pushed up here. ATF coming in, but elusive, keeping him at bay. Downing aim so sick. I'm sorry, and now just retreating to his own bubble as he'll get some resources as Foria pushes the aggression. This team just keeps up like cycling the tempo. When one member can't do it, another one steps right in, coming in over the top of the bubble. But Foria's gone down. Elusive and Vigac have to bail him out of this one. Nearly, it looks like Elusive might not get out in time. Jount retreating over to the buildings. This is looking way too dangerous for him, but he's able to get close again to Vigac.
God Squad just doing what they can do right there. And yeah, Foria is not going to be able to live to see another day here. They're going to finish him right off. I think he bit off a little more than he could chew there, Yelk. He went right in where both his teammates were recovering, didn't hit the fly shots, and it just didn't quite pan out.
He definitely pushed up like that because he knew he had to cover for Elusive or else he would have gotten pushed and go down. But you're right. I mean, just overstaying his welcome, keeping up the pressure just a hair too long, and he will end up paying for it for his life. And we have not seen United finish very well if that Gibraltar goes down before the final zone. So they might get knocked here. 4 squads left, but they've gotten plenty of points in this game, especially with the kills they've racked up to this point. They've got to be happy with it, but they still want this win. Even as a duo, they think they're capable of it. And honestly, Neely, I'm still picking them as my favorites. They're in a tight spot, but they could do it.
They're in absolutely a tight one here, Yelk. Ooh, and they're getting looked upon by God Squad, I believe.
Scary spot to be with God Squad up on this crow's nest. And they know that if they do push that aggression with United, they're going to lose some resources and they might get just pushed and third-partied by Azure Esports. But Azure Esports looks like there's a Pink Floyd concert inside that zone. There's just lasers going everywhere. It's an absolute show. So I don't believe God Squad is going to want to test that.
And God Squad's really just gating two teams. Not gating really, but they're just watching two teams. You've got one on the right, 2 on the left, and they're just making sure that Azure Esports does not feel too comfortable. Maybe when they should feel comfortable. Contred trading some damage. Just trying to see what's going on at Elite falling low. Who's got the prime positioning here, Yelk?
Nobody.
God Squad?
No, this is a deadly zone. It's going to pop off here. God Squad is in a good spot, but anyone is going to get third party once they choose a fight. Gibraltar all coming out now, and this is why I didn't think God Squad was in the best positioning. They don't have a Gibraltar of their own to thwart this off. Vigac has actually found a kill on a Robotic Knight. So Koch Red versus United, and Koch is also down the Gibraltar. This is huge for United.
Massive. Gets another knock, it looks like, right there. That's 2 knocks. Still, United in absolute force, but I got God Squad winning this one right now. They've just, look at this. He has nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Just lasering him down. They're just going to drop it and try to get this clean up. God Squad just lasering him down.
This is where United comes in, though. This is where they come in. They've actually found a kill onto Yoshi as well. They're starting to take this high ground. United wants this win. There's 2 squads left, and they are one of them. Now they've got full control of this lobby, and that is it. They clutch it.
Wow, yo. Can't ask for much more than that. Maybe a better spectator, but a much better team going to be taking that win. Squad had that one in the bag.
You're cutting out so hard when you get loud. That is what's causing it. You're peaking. I know it's like the most exciting cast we've had in such a long time, but since that's what's causing it, I know.
Try not to be boring, because that's the hardest part for a caster, to stay excited.
I know, and it's good to be excited always, but just...
I'll calm down. Either way you cut it right there. I feel like God Squad should not have given up that high ground. They had them pincered. I feel like they would have been able to look straight down and just see them and just take them out that way. I mean, Azure Esports looked like they had no idea what to do. They were like, Watson was jumping at a wall over and over, trying to climb out, couldn't quite pull it off. Either way.
Maybe I can get back in here.
Yeah, you probably can get back in here, which should be clutch.
You can look at the match stats, though, and just let us all know how the teams really did.
Oh, well, it's Team X all over the place. Okay, there we go.
Oh boy.
So we've got United taking first. Beautiful. God Squad getting second. That's a really good game from them. Popping out with 14 kills. I mean, that's pretty good. Anytime you get 14 points without your placement mattering is gigantic. It can't be. I can't express how important that truly is. Because when you get second, you get 9 points. So I mean, tack 14 on that. You're really edging yourself up in there. Getting these big kill games with a high placement is what can rocket you forward. Even if you have a mid to average game with a couple kills, that one game can kind of carry you through, hopefully, for you at least.
Well, it looks like I'm actually back in the game. So as long as this stays up, boom, should be okay.
Yeah. We're not going cams, right?
No, you crashed on Skype. I actually just checked that. So, well, you didn't crash.
Yeah.
I crashed. My internet had
Yeah.
a heat stroke. So,
Yeah.
can go cams
Absolutely.
if you want, or we can just do what we did last time and just look at the match stats and talk about the game because I am pretty down for that most of the time.
Yeah. You're the guy, so just tell me what you want. I can do anything.
Well, I'm actually off your parsec now, but you might just want to stay like
Yeah. Until we go to a
right
break.
down the. All right, Neely, write down the team names on your binds so you have them.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
get them.
And then
We're going to break
you
in a second, I believe, as well.
You shouldn't use Parsec just because in case my internet does that again, I can just fly over to you if I get kicked from the game. But
Okay.
I mean, we always do say where the teams are fighting and what teams they are, so I think we'll be able to ride along with the fights.
I'll try.
I know. I think you're gonna be okay
gonna
at
be-
it though. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah. The only issue we'll run into is you landing on, like, when you go to somebody and who's shooting, you know? Either
Mhm.
way. No, that's for intermission time.
Well,
Should we just hit an intermission?
We'll go there now. We'll go there now. See you in a sec, chat. And we're back before game number 3 after looking at the leaderboard for the last couple of minutes. We see United up top with 56 points. Neely, what does that mean going into the next one? Match point if they win, correct?
Yeah. Everything I've been told, it's ALGS rules, and according to ALGS, once you hit that 50-point mark, if you win the next game or any ensuing game here, you can win the whole tournament. And they will do it in about the fastest fashion they can because they've ranked up so many kills, got first twice, which is outlandish. Even though these guys are so good, you don't expect them to win that last game. It just doesn't seem possible, especially when you lose your Gibraltar.
Yeah, it did come down to them just having an Octane and a Valkyrie, and we saw God Squad, the team in second place with 26 points, 30 behind United. We saw them have that perfect positioning up on that cliff, but they did go down, and United came in with that third party. They had an Octane alive with the jump pad and a Valkyrie, so that team was able to access that cliff pretty easily and take that fight, and I don't believe God Squad or anyone else in the final zone was expecting that outcome.
Yeah, I mean, I think God Squad kind of had that locked in. They got a little anxious to push, and the thing is, the timing from United was just perfect right there. They knew that damage had been done to God Squad. They gave up the high ground. They had 2 characters that could then take any position they wanted in Valkyrie and Octane. And you can win at 2v3 when the other team is weak and you're full of resources. It's exceptionally doable.
I'm just trying to see who else was up there just in terms of last game, not the leaderboards, but Azure Esports and Cotred. Azure Esports is coming in at 4th, Cotred currently in 5th, and Wheeland Skyhook, despite finishing 8th, they are actually your 3rd place team because of how well they played in game 1. Is that pretty much a top 5 you were expecting other than God Squad, who we really don't know too much about?
Yeah, we don't really know God Squad, but yeah, I think that would just about be what you'd expect. I mean, it's the teams that perform well in scrims, practice how you play. We've all heard it. Tends to kind of work out well. I mean, speaking of practice how you play, Koch Red running at Gibraltar, what are you doing? Why would you scrim Revenant for a week and a half just to throw all of that away to then swap not just to a Gibraltar instead of a Bloodhound, but dropping the Revenant altogether. It just seems like you're completely changing your whole playstyle, because their whole playstyle was there's a third party, Revolt, clean it up, free KP, and then they would just cycle and do that over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, they did have that Rev Octane comp down better than any other team in this tournament, so it is kind of a shock to see them run the Gibraltar, but we've also been harping on them the entire time that they were sacrificing too much in final circles by not having one, so even though we're criticizing it because they were the best at it, it doesn't really mean that it's not a better decision to run that Gibraltar. And hey, they're in the top 5 right now. They've got 14 points. They've got a long way to go, but any of those teams in the top 5 could get a high kill game and end up with a victory being the champions and just tighten this leaderboard right up. But again, like you said, look out for United. This is their match point. If they win this, it is over. They take the grand prize of $250, and that is going to be all she wrote. So honestly, Neely, spectate United all game long. I don't even care.
Yeah.
It's a United VOD review at this
spectating?
point. I am spectating. Do you want to be on my Parsec? We could, if you want.
I do. I
All right,
really
all
do.
right.
So it'll be much more fun for me.
I'm going to go spectate Wheeland Skyhook for the time being while we switch this up and over, because they're going to do trials, and that's going to be the most entertaining thing to happen.
You've probably disconnected from me, correct?
I actually don't know how.
Okay, doing the 58. Okay, it's just 4 matches, by the way. We were just updated.
What do you mean it's just 4 matches?
4 matches, and I believe it's a point race to see who can get the most points, and whoever has the most points will take it all. Because I just got a message that said we're not doing the AGLS 50-point thing. So something has changed, because I was told that about a week ago. So I do apologize for putting that out there, of course. But either way, still
This
looking
format's
really
a little
good.
better too, and there are like some boosted points for actually winning the game. So even though in the top 5 we've got teams with 14 points, 19 points, there's teams currently ranked and seated below that through like 6 to 8 who are not out of this one yet. Even if you only have 8 points right now, 2 good games in a row. We see how many points United can get in that time. You can be right back in it. Neely, I shared my screen with you. I think you have to try and connect again so I can let you in. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Let me know when you're in.
I believe I'm in. I hear the gunshots, and that's exactly what I want to hear. We're in trials now. Take it away, Yelk. Let's see what's happening at other portions of this map, because there's going to be a lot happening. People know the discrepancy in points right now. People know that United is so far ahead that they have to come in here, and they really, really need to lock in kills and win the game. So there might be some aggro pushes we see here, and you're not going to want to take any if it's going to be United, because they haven't really lost any yet.
No, they're currently undefeated in fights. I completely agree. It is dangerous to push them, but you raise a good point where you can look at the separation between them and every other team in this game. And those teams that are out of it right now, you've got nothing left to lose and $250 to gain. So just throw your bodies at Sorting Factory like waves of zombies in a Call of Duty game, because that is what it's going to take to just topple this giant off of the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. Trials just kind of getting handled here. Doesn't seem like anybody's doing too much. That aggro thing I was talking about isn't coming to fruition yet, but wait a second.
No.
Who's coming in on Skyhook?
It's going to be HRV. This happens to Claypool World a lot, though, and Wheeland Skyhook does know how to get him out of this, because it is such an awkward push to push into trials. They're not sure if there's one player down there or quite a few, but he must know they're there. Kurt is coming to back him up. So is Winterfall. So this is a Wheeland Skyhook team that has gotten into this sticky situation time and time again, and they know how to rat their way out of it.
And the way they're going to wrap their way out is they're going to wrap right in and act as if they have been there. Still trying to complete trials as Claypool World, knowing that they're up there. I imagine they know. You just got to complete it. I mean, you can't
just
not.
Playing the video game. Yeah, I mean, those dogs aren't going to stop. HRV is just looking menacing up here. Arc stars are getting thrown in, bullets are getting fired, so everyone is aware of everyone else's presence. And this is going to be very tricky. Both teams need this KP, though, Neely.
This is very tense. If anything else happens, it's going to be very hard to pull off it. Luckily, it looks like nothing else is happening. The spacing is very good, except for Fragment. Fragment's got 3 teams in it right now.
And the push is finally being made by HRV, closing in, and it's going to be 2 downs traded out as Claypool and Denoxo. Winterfall falls as well, though. Devil Lord picking up 2 downs here. Trying to get that 3rd Octane, speed boosting around. He's got that stim, just trying to track down this last member of Wheeland Skyhook. Coming around the rock now, gets the crack, but is in fact downed. Kaiser doing a good job, taking down the kill leader for HRV, and now it is all up to him. No, Kurt with the clutch.
Right over to Team 15 if you can. Fragment's pretty heated right now with ATF and Team 15 just kind of mobbing around. And Team Meanie's also just in here hitting some shots right now.
Well, nice little flurry of headshots hit right there to just down Schlitzie ISU. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, Fragment is very contested right now. 3 squads actually mixing it up in here.
It looks like a lot of people are taking some damage from it. Finishes are coming out. And a finish.
ATF
right
is down.
ATF. Yeah, ATF is out.
Oh, this is Sensei. Thank God. They need it. They need it so bad to get into this top 5, to get into this top 10. But we've actually got God Squad coming in. They've heard the action, and they know where they stand in this lobby and what they've got to lose and what they've got to gain. They're going to be pushing absolutely everything and playing Fragment as much as they can to get these kills. There are so many.
Look at their armor as well. Very strong armor on them right now.
Oh, they're going in.
Looks like,
you love to see it.
I don't know. They might just be playing their time, waiting for some shots to go. If they want maybe a fight to happen, opens the door with the Arc Star, gives him a little greeting, inserts the mail.
Gets right into his kitchen there. I'm not sure if they're going to back off or push this. We've also got Team Meanie's player Kyle just over here all alone, just really not wanting to get pushed by anyone, just kind of happy to be alive at this point.
Looks like United's about to fight right now, Yelk.
They
United
sure
wants
are.
to fight. They're right on somebody.
Who
2
is
bubbles
this?
out.
Gibraltar ultimates used as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Foria falls. Cinnabon getting that down onto him. This could be huge if United gets knocked out this early. It's all happening in one room here. Viguk does get it down as well onto Unknown Zombie. Cinnabon falls also. Elusive and Viguk. How many times are they going to bail out Foria in this grand final? They're going to have to do it at least one more.
Trying to stab the res. Not going to open that door. The death box is in the way. He's going to yank it open. It's a pull door. In with the split angles and just laser him out, Yelk.
Great play right there from Viguk to keep up the pressure. They were never going to let that res happen. They knew the 2v1 was theirs, especially after that Gibraltar bubble was already used. Foria gets back into the action without having to be fully taken back to respawn. So United having all of their puzzle pieces. They've got to make it into the next zone pretty quick, but this one won't chip away too much health. They should have plenty of time. Going back over now, it doesn't look like any action in Fragment is actually going to come to fruition. Wheeland Skyhook should get in easy here.
Yeah, they should get in nice and easy. Literally nobody through Train Yard, Harvester. It's empty. Even Fragment West, there's going to be a rotation in from, I think that's a Yuzu Dog right there. But either way, it's looking like sorting is going to get heated real quick. I don't see how it could. DOL Black is just kind of rotating in right now, but they don't even know who's right next to him.
Yeah, and that scan actually just got picked up too. Bloodbath is looking from these windows. They want some kills. They haven't done much to this point, so I would kind of predict that they start to push and be a little bit more aggressive, climb their way up that leaderboard, but it seems like they just want to hold this high ground for now. They've got some ultimates, but what they don't have is armor, and they are going to be playing, very scared of any team that does.
Yeah, absolutely. Armor is so important in some of these lobbies. Azure Esports does just have this high ground. I've actually seen the Azure hold this position before, and they have G7s and they just rain it out.
Nice little shot there. They're just going to keep that high ground. Nothing too crazy going on. Just a big poke war DOL Black, though, they might be pushing in pretty soon because they're at their wits' end with Bloodbath and Azure Esports poking and prodding at them. They want to make something happen, and if they've taken any shots at Bloodbath, which it seems like they have, they should have picked up the read that they have 2 blues and a gray for Evo Shields, and I believe they're pretty equal with that. Going to get this skin onto the next zone. Very smart play. Yeah, they do have the armor advantage, so they should be aware of that and maybe want to push this next coming kill, but seems like after that scan, maybe they won't end up pushing that. They know Azure Esports is close by.
United trying to make a rotation. And Sensei, they're locked into a building right now. They do not plan on saying hi to anybody or even probably letting anybody know that they're here. But they have a really good position right now. But I've also I have seen Circles pull right in onto them. And if they can get that pull, this could be a big boost for Sensei. Either way, United's rolling in, which means they're going to want to knock on DOL Black's door right here because they're getting close. But who knows? There could be a lot of stuff happening.
I'm just going to stay along with United here because they're bound to just aggro anyone they can. Now that we know, I mean, they knew it before we did, obviously, but now that we know just how well they're doing in this lobby, I appreciate that, but let's be honest. Now that we know just how well they are doing in this lobby, they should be fully confident to just push every single team they can and rack up some points because with a 30-point lead, they shouldn't be afraid of actually getting knocked this early in the game, especially with this game already having a squad wipe under their belts.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about coming out and performing. I'd be interested to talk to these guys and just see if they've like competed in any tournaments like this because they seem seasoned, they seem experienced, and like they know what they're doing, and everyone else is trying to just get their hands onto this and see what they can do. You know, everyone's probably a Predator in this lobby, an Apex Predator, that is, not to be confused. And
oh my God, you relax.
It doesn't always matter how good it doesn't always matter how good you are when you're in these lobbies. Matters how your team plays. Ooh, really? DOL Black is coming in on Kyle right now, and I don't think Kyle is ratting. I'm just kind of peeking at him real quick. He is tucked in here. DOL Black is going to be walking right on by. They're actually in his building. They don't even know.
They have no idea.
Thank
God for stream delay. They're not going to find out either. It actually looks like they're moving away, and they're going to be in an engagement pretty soon here with KTZ. Yeah. In fact, Alex could get caught out here. He's nowhere near his team. They've got to come through this choke now. The scan has hit, so he is aware of KTZ's presence.
Yeah, and, you know, if this fight happens, Kyle could maybe peek out and just try to hit somebody in the back and then just zoom out before anybody even knows what happened.
Kyle is not going to move for the next 8 minutes, Neely, and you know that.
I know. Why would he? Honestly, and I don't think United's retaken Sorting Factory as well, just kind of as a thing. It's just their spot. Either way, though. DOL Black, hanging out, hanging on. But it's looking like it's getting a little quiet on the west side, though. This rotation in from Yuzu right into Wheeland Skyhook. There's no way something doesn't happen right here.
They've got the Revolt as well.
And let me tell you, Wheeland Skyhook does not like Revenants, so this is going to be an interesting fight if it happens to break out. But Wheeland Skyhook's already locked into this building right here in Sorting, just getting their positioning. It just depends where Yuzu comes through, and they're not going to go into the building. They're just going to hold it right on the outside. Everyone's just trying to find their placement, find their positioning, not necessarily trying to take any fights, because one thing I know about these is fights will come to you, but it looks like they might be going right to them.
God Squad in a fight of their own, too. This is the current number 2 team. They're the ones who are still 30 points behind United out in front, but still in an engagement of their own. They've yet to find a squad wipe in this game. This is actually their first engagement, the first amount of damage they've done at all. Yuzu in it. Kurt actually takes down one. Winterfall takes down another. It's all up to Tinkley now, and they never even got this Revolt off.
No, they did. They used it. They engaged. And I don't know exactly what happened, but I definitely saw somebody. Or does he still have it? He does have it. I'm dumb. The way they went in on the minimap, it really looks like they had it, Yelk. I just figured, I think someone got silenced. I don't know what it was. I can't believe they didn't use it. Wheeland Skyhook just popping people off. They're just leaving Claypool? No one's thirding this.
They might actually be leaving Claypool. I mean, they could actually get this Crypto Resurrect. They're not as worried about it as any other team would be. I'm very surprised, though. It seems like They sensed
Yeah,
United
it's-
coming in, and they did not want any piece of them.
No, that might be the smartest rotation of the game here.
That was
And
so big
United,
brain. I was 30 seconds behind that.
yeah, that's the thing is, these really, really good players, they know when to go in and go crazy. D-Lo Black also going crazy, getting knocked here. Red Elk's going to have to make it happen, not going to.
Koch
Red, make it back to the red. There you go. You run it the best, clearly better than Yuzu because they had the ult and they just YOLO'd in there like they had it and they didn't use it. That's going to blow my mind till the end of time. I don't know if they just didn't know they were there or what happened. Either way, Koch Red has this building. I've seen a lot of fights go around this building, but it's not in circle right now, so it's not that advantageous. United just holding back in their prime sorting position. Bloodbath, trying to clean up the bloodbath of this Bloodhound.
He actually got sniped right there. Elusive has this Kraber, and he's a throw with it. He loves to pick this thing up. Lands that shot for 116, a mile out.
Yeah, you gotta, the Kraber is just so fun. I mean, not for getting hit by it. Maybe it's a little bit of a cheeky weapon, but Kyle's rotated. The Kyle story, team meetings. Can he make it happen if he got a crack, I believe, but can he get a knock? If he can knock somebody, force this into a 1v1, who really knows? It looks like they just gave him up. That was free KP right there.
Listen, they probably thought it was 3 people, and this is a Skyhook team that is down a man as well. Down there, Gibby, so they know if they get into anything, that third party is coming around the corner.
And look at their health. Oh, my God.
No healing.
They are low, my guy. Shields up, health down. They are going to have to do something. United, healthy as ever. They got the Kraber. Can't ask for much more.
They've got so much ammo and the sorting factory high ground, and they're going to be fine when this next zone closes. They've got the scan onto the one following that. I mean, this team is in the driver's seat every single end game. I'm not sure how they do it, but every single time, consistently setting up well for the final zone.
And we're going to have to keep an eye on the clinch here, Yelk. Oh, because just based on points, I'll talk more about that later. I almost called it a Sentinel, some charge rifle shots going out. I'd like everyone to notice that the Sentinel never gets used in these games. It's always the charge rifle. It's always the G7. It's never the 30-30. There's very clear guns that are very good trying to clean this kill up. They don't want to go down there to get them. They will use every grenade they have, though. Woo!
I mean, that's what you call free KP right there. But now, do they push this building? They don't have a Gibraltar, so this push, super aggressive coming in now. Hitting some good shots is Chi-Town, but has to retreat into this building, take some cover. His team is losing armor. All 3 of them are cracked, but it's going to be the EVA 8 shots coming up from Chi-Town that will get the down, and it seems like they haven't wiped a squad yet, but they have taken down 4 members of 2 different squads.
Yeah, God Squad's putting on a clinic right now. Either who is our, who's leading the... It's obviously United. They've led every single game. Koch Red in second, finally doing what they do, trying to fulfill the storyline. Right now, though, they got to get out of the circle. In it, you know what I mean? So much happening right here. They're going to get hit by the crypto wall. I know that was Kurt. Nobody else plays crypto.
VGUK actually took down a member of Skyhook there. They're coming in with a third party. They saw and heard the action on the bottom side of this cliff, and they know with the ultimate high ground, they can come in and get this. VGUK actually finding 2 now. No, never mind. That's Winterfall for a second time, and he's pushing in with no shield right on top of him nearly, and he's able to get it down right there before flying out.
It's a teabag when you can drop on him while shooting. Going down first again. Seems to always find a way to go down, but it is Gibby. He does take some of the most damage. He's so big. VGUK, though, lasering kinetics.
I'm so impressed with VGUK's accuracy to keep this United team alive for you. Just trying to ping everything and give this team as much information as he can. Giving me all sorts of sound cues. We're going to see Azure Esports getting into a little scuff here with God Squad. And God Squad is going to be looking to take this here and knock Azure out. This is one that is a very close battle along the leaderboards.
Absolutely. Every point counts. Every kill counts. That is not going to be a kill. VGUK going to get another one onto kinetics and the finish. But God Squad attempting to do something to this little structure here. I believe I heard a Gibby all go, but it's not going to do anything even if it does. The bubble's out, and they have the Watson off to shut it down.
Wow, fantastic movement here by Soros to just stay alive and take as little damage as possible. Does end up going down, but his life was so valuable for this team. Did so much damage in on that Gibraltar bubble, but the rest of God Squad will not be able to push the aggression they want to. Good hip fire landing here. Could it be enough to get a down? No, it's not. Chi-Town falls, and it is all up to Husley.
It's doable. He did so much damage with that Spitfire. One thing the Spitfire never does is stop shooting. Gotta get the bat off onto that Gibby. United sees all this happening. Got a laser him out. Azur is out right now, which means God Squad's still alive. I don't think they can recover this, though. There's no way. They know that port is going to be going for a res. That's free KP right there. That's another kill for them because the squad that killed him got knocked, so it's free kills for Vigok.
Vigok's got 2k damage. There's only 3 squads left, and nobody has any hope against United. When this full team is standing in the final zone, there is no knocking them out of it. They are just hunting now.
Hunting is the true way to say it. He has the Kraber out, just going for style points, and that's going to be it. United taking map number 3. And when we get these points, we're gonna have to see what God Squad is going to need to do to get into a lead here.
I believe it's going to be Skyhook, actually. After this game, it might be Skyhook moving into second place.
Either way, I mean, United is so far ahead right now. This is ridiculous. Because if there's one more game to play here, Yelk, if you win the game and wipe the whole lobby, how many points is that? You know?
Like, yeah, no, United does have kind of that many.
Can you surmount what Skyhook has right now? We can actually do a quick score update without getting it from, if you go to the stats here, because we know what they had before, and now we just need to see what they have now. 15 kills is going to go over to United. And before this, they had 56.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
They're looking pretty dangerous. I mean, listen, I picked them as the favorites to win game number 2. Even after Foria got down, I said I was sticking with them to win that game, and they did. I mean, they just look like an overpowered team. It seems like they could take it to most of the teams in this lobby if Foria didn't show up. And Foria, through a week of scrims, has maybe been their most impactful player. He's having kind of an off day now, or maybe he's just being so aggressive and making the space for them, but Vigok and Elusive are doing everything to keep this team in it.
Those two seem to be maintaining their positioning a lot. Usually you have, say, your Wraith, your Octane, go for the aggressive angles and peaks, but it kind of seems like Foria is the one that's kind of going in. Because, I mean, Vigok went in, but then he was out, and then Foria was in, but then he has to climb something, So he doesn't have as easy of a chance to get away. And it's going to make it really, really difficult for him to... He has no movement. And when he gets seen, he's gigantic. We've all lasered a Gibby. And, yeah, he's got some damage reduction because he's Gibby. He's got the fortified perk. But overall, he is enormous. Even your dad could hit him. You know what I mean?
All right, so I believe the score update is going to come out to God Squad staying in second place with 39 points and United in first with, get this, 83.
That is gross. That is through 3 games. 3.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, I've never seen such a standout performance from a team, and it was looking like there were a good handful of teams in this tournament that could have showed up on the final day and toppled one of the giants, but United just, they're showing us why we were talking them up all week long and all day going into this game. They're just the best team in this lobby, and they're letting everyone know now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's not much really else to say at this point. United just... And what's funny is not their last time scrimming, but one of them, I think it was back on Tuesday, they had a scrim, and I felt like they just couldn't break past something. I don't know what it was. It was just an off day for them. They weren't coming to those clutch fights because, just think about how many fights they've had where they do have it down, and then they still just claw back. They do something. It's like, oh, he needs to hit a couple shots. They hit those couple shots. They get that down, and immediately the other team, now it's even. Now they have an extra pick. Now the fight's over, and all of a sudden United just turns a whole fight that was against them on their head to take out take a fight win, and another map win. I mean, 3 in a row. That is insane.
That is insane, especially when you just remember that game too. They were down to a duo for the last 2 or 3 zones there.
Yeah.
So
Game 1, they almost went out at 15. Imagine if they go out at 15.
even if they go out at 15 in game number 1, they still probably have 45 points right now.
I'm trying to remember how many kills. Yeah, they would still have a ton of points. They would still have a ton of points. But I don't remember how many kills I can't remember if it was like 19 in the first game or something. That seems like too many. That might have been a scrim. Who knows? Either way, doesn't really matter. Would you like to go to a break for a minute and be right back?
I would like to go to a break. We'll try and update this leaderboard and get everyone situated before our final game.
I don't think we. And we're back. Final map of the day. This is for all the marbles. I mean, most of the marbles might be semi-clinched up here, but either way, that's a fan. But no, I'm sorry. Those are the jetpacks. I'm so hyper aware of sounds right now, and them being poor. But either way, drop it in. Final map. I would imagine someone's going to try to go crazy. God Squad's got to catch up, and they're going to have to get so many kills and honestly hunt this team. They have to hunt United. If United doesn't go out early and they just get decent placement with 5 kills, it is absolutely over.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm, again, just so shocked to be seeing these teams not just going in and landing Sorting Factory, just going with the challenge. It's actually the high tier loot zone. So United nearly, they're going to win this game. They're going to win this game. There's no turning back now. It is written.
The Apex gods have been in their favor. But again, they are the Apex gods, and they've been pushing it into their favor as well. At this point, everyone having fun. Oh, Skyhook, a little contest again here. Kurt's down.
Kurt's down, and Winterfall is low, stimming away on the retreat. Claypool, who always plays the trials, will have this high ground cliff to play, but it's going to be tough, especially when Kurt goes down. I mean, Crypto is your banner recover legend, so he's not the one you ever want to be falling first.
Yeah, your next best option is going to be Octane here, but if you get that kill, you camp the banner till it's gone. There's no reason not to. At the very least, they come in, right? Oh, make shots here. Coming up from Kyle, from Kyle. Kyle gets a knock and a finish. I don't know if he's still by himself. Probably not. That was just one game. But DUL Black rotating in here. They want these kills. It's a hot pursuit.
It is a hot pursuit. Going in with the Eva. Gets that crack as well. Gabeful was able to take down Chi-Town, and that is the squad wipe. DUL Black picking up some kills early on.
Absolutely. Been a solid little team here coming through. It's just hard to give a lot of respect to these other teams because it is so blown out of proportion with who's in the lead. There's such a discrepancy. There's so many points basically getting taken by United that other teams don't have more to boost them up. I mean, Wheeland Skyhook, I think, only had 30 going into this game. They performed pretty well, but there's just so many kills being taken by this United team all around with the wins, with the kills. I mean, there's not much more you could say about this team other than this big rotation. And they got the banner, yo. I don't know how
should have been camped. Should have absolutely been camped. Kurt is lucky to be back in this game.
Team Meanies. They're mean, they're angry, they're feisty, and they are trying to recover right now.
Looks like they're going to be fighting ATF, who's currently down a player as well. So Team Meanies actually has a better chance in this fight than they might think.
They might have an armor advantage here as well. ATF, big shots coming in right there, but he also takes a bit of damage himself, and he's trying to fight a Gibby, which is not fun when he's got a purple armor on him.
Good positioning here on the high ground. Rob is able to down one and get that finish onto Arbox, but he will end up falling to one member of ATF. Seems like Team Meanies, failed to remember Team Meanies. This is the team Kyle's on. Okay. I thought Kyle was actually a duo. I don't know why.
Not quite. I'm just taking some stock in the rest of the map, seeing where everybody is. United just hanging out. They're just doing their thing.
Very awkward encounter at this front door. Player trying to come in and just push the aggression on the Team Meanies in our final game here. But eventually we'll retreat out just a little bit. This is, of course, Aim So Sick, the last player alive for ATF. Just trying to make this tournament go on as long for their team as they possibly can. But eventually they should get hunted down here. It's going to be very, very hard for Team Meanies to actually fumble this.
Yeah, but Valkyrie's just so hard to track down. They can go high ground, low ground. If they go low ground and you chase, they can go right back up to high ground. It's so fast, it's so quick, and when you can do it so quick, you can recover a little bit as well. But he's Fletch right now, and he's just getting hounded.
Oh, third party's coming in, though. Kyle goes down to 1 HP, runs around that corner, but not quite fast enough. Who is this pushing in onto them? Looks like it's actually going to be HRV coming in for maybe stealing 3 KP. That could get them up on the board. They've yet to have their first engagement of the map, so.
Absolutely, and they're poking, they're prodding. You hang on to them, Yelp.
Pretty good shots right there. Denoxa coming in now. There's a couple players on this staircase. Great job hitting those headshots onto Aim So Sick. And that is going to be ATF wiped out of the game. Their tournament is over. And the action in Fragment West is not over. Kyle bleeding out. Chilitsy, the lone survivor for this team, as they may be the next ones headed out. We're getting some aggression from Yuzu Dog Purple as they're coming into Fragment West and looking to get in the action as well.
Absolutely. No questions there.
Wow,
Yuzu
Toothless already down.
Ruthless, Toothless, taking a beating. Oh, that's a big arc star stunning up absolutely everybody right there. I don't see a way to get out of this. Tinky's won, and he's going to get absolutely lasered down, but it looks like another third party is coming in onto this. Some shots have been traded. Gets the armor swap on a Devil Lord.
We're seeing a lot go down. Team Meanies actually the ones putting in some shots, but now they've just got to play a little bit more scared here. They were getting backed off time after time. Circle's coming in, and it is going to be right behind them, Neely. I'm not sure they're going to be able to have the easiest time getting into this zone near the bottom of Fragment East. It seems like things are going to get very congested for them. On to United now. Seeing what they're getting up to in what I do believe is their first fight.
It is. They've been just basically sitting on the ground, not doing nothing. For you, climbing. It looked like they were going to land right on their head, but they kind of jutted it down at the last seconds. This might just disperse. Nobody wants to run into this United team, but they want to just run into absolutely everybody. It's going to be a chase, and it looks like they just completely disengage this.
They're going to be running into 4 teams here up at this cliffside choke, and the first one's going to be Sensei.
Is this where Pole is? I haven't seen any scans yet. No, it's not even going to be over by Thermal. I've been watching for a while. United shooting somebody, and it's going to be Sensei right now, just getting pinned down into this building. Buildings are a great spot to hold, but I don't know if anything's great to hold when United's looking at you.
Yeah, the best place to hold is across the map from this team we're spectating now. They're so good, it's insane.
Why do you think we land Skyhook lands Skyhook? Because it's really far away from Sorting Factory.
Yeah, they probably had the scouting report going into this tournament and that United was only ever going to drop there. It makes me only ever want to drop there in my ranked games because even though I am not them, the circle does always pretty much end up favoring the south of the map. Yeah.
How's that? Oh, that's a huge peek from Foria. He might be first to go down again. Takes a ton of damage. Looks around the corner and finds 3. V-Gut going down. United gonna have to recover. Foria doing it very quickly. Elusive, of course, getting the counter knock as they do. Fights going on the other side of the map, but they don't matter right now. Look at the tracking from Foria.
That was an insane target switch and tracking them through that jump pad animation. United is never out of the fight, and we can see just why. Foria with a great recovery after taking a truckload of damage and having to fall back to his bubble. This is a fully alive team starting to shield up, and they're ready for their next fight. I mean, they really just brushed off that down like it was nothing.
Yeah, Foria's got the full gold loot set up right now. He's got the bag, he's got the He's got the robe set up, the all gold everything. Just he's going to be a very hard man to kill now.
Cottrell has found themselves a squad wipe. Looking at the match stats now, seeing who's in the lead. HRV, DLO Black, Koch Red.
And HRV has performed pretty decently, considering that we did not know who they were going into this. They seem to they're not consistent, right? Because we haven't seen them. They haven't been scrimming from what we've seen. So for what they've been doing here today, pretty solid. Getting some kills, getting mids of high placement, maybe getting knocked early once or twice, but it's really hard for any of these teams yet again to stick out because United might just run into you like a truck.
Right now we're seeing Skyhook traverse the map, getting shot out a little bit. They've just resurrected Kurt, and Kurt's got to find some gear. And it is not going to be easy. There's nothing left on the map for them.
You know Azure Esports is close when you see the Watson fences. Only team running Watson. Well, I guess they're not close. But they were there at one point. A little calling sign for them. A little flag planted in the ground is Watson.
They're the only team playing here today. So, I mean, I did not expect anyone to play here today. So the fact that anyone is kind of mind-boggling to me, especially a team that has cracked into the top 5 and been a consistent performer today, playing a legend that everyone would probably categorize as suboptimal, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I think they really like the ultimate, it seems like, because we always say how nothing counters a Gibby ultimate, but that's what's so good about Watson is her ultimate does counter Gibby's ult. It's a trophy system, and it kills all things incoming, and it kills every single one of those things that's incoming to it. So when you're near that thing, you are safe from the Gibby ult. So it's another thing that can counter it, but they have a Gibby as well. So it seems like a lot of overkill, but it's another cooldown you can utilize.
Seeing Sensei come right in on top of Bloodbath here as I spectate the wrong person for a flash. We're back on where the action should be. Good positioning here by Sensei, throwing that jump pad down to take these high ground train tracks. This should be enough to guide them through this fight. Now they've really got that other team trapped down there.
Now they're kind of just rotating into United territory, even if they're not there right now. I'd say sorting is just United. United's about to laser somebody as well. I just figured I'd check in on them a little bit.
It's DLL Black. It's actually a team that's doing very well in the current game, but they've got to be careful and keep an eye on their company because I'm not sure they know just how dangerous it's about to be.
I think United has the best aim in the lobby, and I don't even think it's close.
No, everyone on this team has just impressed me with their tracking, their target switching, the focus fire too. Going in now with the Eva, does not miss that headshot. Elusive cleaning up that kill. DL Black looks like they are just about out of this one, and there's the squad wipe, but 2 members of United fall. They've got to recover very quickly, Neely.
Elusive just won that?
Elusive just won that, but KTZ's coming in. They're looking to knock United out for the first time tonight. Foria is actually finished off by Whiskey, and now that they know this is United, they're going to be very thirsty for these last 2 kills.
They might be thirsty. They might already say all but lost at this point because United's so far ahead. Vigog's back, and he is fully recovered once this Phoenix kit goes through. Oh my good! I was specking Vigog. I didn't get the switch onto Elusive quick enough, but I did not think he had that. But why I said I think they have the best tracking in the lobby, some people might say Crypto Alt is easy to kill. How quickly just Vigog dealt with it was so impressive to me.
Yeah, it definitely was, and they're going in now. And they've actually cracked almost every single person on this KTZ team, and they should be coming in to just push this finally. But instead, going for the banner play, they just back them off enough to get this, and they are trying to recover for you and get out of dodge. United still so at large in this game.
It's so funny. I remember from watching scrims, I felt like on this day they might perform timid, they might perform differently. Maybe better teams would all be here because scrims you get a mishmash. This is the day all the teams would be good, but I mean, United it's honestly unbelievable because I would say they hadn't even been performing this well in scrims. They performed well, but they had a few off days. This is not an off day.
No, I mean, they had pretty much a game every single day where they would push 15 kills and win the lobby. One day they had, I believe, 23 kills between the three of them, and they got the win. I think that was their best game, but today it seems like they're pushing for that new best game every single match of this tournament. Except this game, they are kind of falling behind in the kills. They've only got 5 between the squad, and we're getting toward the end game here, but it seems like now that they've got Foria back, they might just be trying to take down the entire lobby.
Yeah, because if they can win this squad fight, Foria can kind of get back in this. You do have to remember, Foria had the full gold loot drop. He had the bag, everything, and now they're shooting that shield that he had, sadly for them. Because Foria's just not able to be nearly as aggro as he was, but his teammates are going to do what they do.
United's got some great buildings to push into as well that are inside this zone. You can see him taking that space now. And, of course, you can see the Wattson has been here. Azure Esports, fairly close by. They've actually got a member who just was downed, and they've got to recover that banner. I'm not quite sure how Knight extended too far where that banner got knocked so far away from them. You can see this team is in prime position, and the knock happened all the way over here by Koch Red.
Yeah, Koch Red might be getting into it. I'm unsure right now, but seems like it might just be a bit of a poke battle. Everyone's kind of broken away from Unite, but you see the circle pull. It's to the northern side here. It's near Harvester. Could pull onto Harvester, and if it's inside, that could be devastating. Who is in that building? HRV. Lining up for a decent game here if they get this pull.
They've had a very decent game so far to this point. If they get this pull, they are looking like the favorites to win. But again, how do you not just favor United? Until they're out of the lobby, it's their game to lose. I know that was a total cliche.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, oh, I know what you're trying to say. Oh, I know. Oh, they're pushing in right now. HRV. Sorry, I was expecting something completely different, probably.
Trying to go in and take this building. They've got one down on the Frankinator, another on the Sizzle to Rizzle, and this is the third and final. If they can take care of the Gibraltar, they've got another squad wipe and pushing so far ahead in the KP of this current match. Going back to the match stats, they've got 12 kills. United sitting just at 6.
I don't even know what to spec on this. And there's so many teams flying in on these train tracks, though.
We're going to be along with United for the rest of this one, I think, because they're going to be under a ton of pressure.
Getting silenced is the Gibby. He's got his shield back, but he's not going to be able to use it for another 15 seconds.
That's a long cooldown. They're going to want it right away, but it's not going to be available. Silenced as well as Vega can't even fly with the jetpack, and he will go down in transition off of that jump pad. And United, even though they're down a member right now, they are not afraid. That bubble is back online, and the Gibraltar res is coming through now.
Not afraid. Yeah, not afraid at all. When
DMCA
is
straight
alive,
inbound.
Yeah. Oh boy. Gonna have to V-cut going back down, and they're just gonna have to leave him. No man left behind until right now. Sorry, V. Oh, the circle got him. He had all his shields. He got the bat off, but he didn't heal. Oh, that's a heartbreaker right there. People always value the shields first. I think it just didn't pan out because of how he got pinched. Either way, it seems like everything settled down. I looked at the map for a second, and as soon as that other fight finished, HRV getting a recovery. Nope. Wow. Okay, I'm done with that.
What are you done with?
Done with that. HRV, the Bloodhound's name. I want to say Novax, but Nox. This would be the name.
Noxa? I don't know. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I like Devil Lord. That's an easy one. Foria just bled out. What is happening to United right now? I gotta.
Them with a jump pad is what fucking happened. Oh shit!
Whoa, man! Whoa, man!
Sorry. I watched it. My bad.
It's okay.
Still in this?
I don't believe so. I'm not able to spectate them. It doesn't seem like
there, I think.
They were knocked. They were knocked down. Knocked down and out. That means primarily, I think I'm going to be along with Koch Red for this one. Them, or is God Squad still alive? They are not. So, Neely, it looks like Skyhook, God Squad, United, our top 3 teams are out. Azure is the highest ranked team left in this game, but after this match, it might actually turn to HRV.
HRV's in really good positioning right now. They had left this positioning and then they took it back.
Fight is coming, though. The throwables are getting chucked in. Kaiser has to throw down that Gibraltar bubble. Now looking for a time to just throw that ultimate out. Wants to wait out the bubble of the opposing team. Who is that opposing team pushing in right now, actually? It's going to be Koch Red, and they've actually got the Rev Vault. They just got sent back off of it, and I believe they really want the same exact positioning, just under HRV.
Yeah, absolutely. And anytime you see these pushes that have to go into the circle, this high ground team looks so dominant. They just have to make a little bit of a move, but that snake building is in circ, but they're only going to have one door to exit. And I guarantee someone is set up right under him here, Yelk.
Yeah, Koch Red. And it's terrifying. You don't want this team to be the one under you, but HRV having such a game, they've got 2 members over 2k damage right now, so they're feeling good. They feel like any team that's challenging them is having to make the brave move because they can really lock down any part of this map where this zone goes to.
I think they popped the ultimate, Yelk. They did. Trying to make a play, but it looks like they're all going to get sent back here. Rich Alex, though, doesn't quite get the knock. Might have got the crack. It was kind of hard to tell. Everyone's sent back. Everyone's recovering. Sensei over here, seeing what's happening, just hanging out in that snake building. That could have been their chance to push out when everything was popping off right there, because they are going to get shut out in this circle. But there's nowhere else to go. Look at this whole circle. I see the third-person perspective. I like it, but look forward a little bit. Or whatever. Yeah, like that. I guess there are some rocks. That's actually huge. I wasn't sure if that was a wide-open expanse for a second. They popped the portal. Wraith getting the value that Wraith gets. The free rotation. But they rotated right into somebody.
It's looking dangerous, but there was a down already found. Azur looking like they're going to be falling out of this game to Sensei. And now Sensei not out of the woods yet. They've got a couple more kills to find here. Someone's still up on top of this cliff. That is going to be the last member of KTZ taken down, and we are down to just 3 squads.
Absolutely.
Koch, HRV, and Sensei.
Koch hanging on to this bottom's position. Problem is, when you have bottom position, it means someone's going to have top. They know they have to move out of here. There's a jump pad. They're not going to be able to use it, though, because it's already taken up by circles. Silence is going out, trying to shut some stuff down. There's a spray. Now they're pushing hard. Maybe they used that ult too early, but I think they had to use it. Hits a silence on somebody. That could be big late.
Great plays here from HRV to find another squad wipe. They've got one more to take care of, but 2 members down. Devil Lord, the last one standing, and Koch Red actually ends up your champion despite being on the low ground. They push out late, they push out aggressive, and they find the 2 squad wipes.
Yelk, what did Koch do differently there?
Neely, we both know exactly what they did differently. And they ran the Revenant.
And Gibraltar.
Both of them.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they
comp.
never run Gibraltar. They never run Gibraltar. They always run Rev. They didn't run him for a game. Now they come back. But HRV with 17 kills. That is ridiculous. That is ludicrous amount of kills. Almost a third of the lobby getting taken out right there. Check in on some stats. That would be our final match of the day, correct?
That's what it's going to be. And, I mean, United stands alone at the top. It was going to have to be God Squad or Skyhook coming up with a massive game, and they did not. So that means that United, despite not being the champions in the very final game, they just had the best day ever. They're going to claim that prize money. They're feeling great. And Neely, what do you think they're feeling like having gotten knocked out in that game, but then just sitting on that victory? What a weird feeling.
Yeah, they just knew. Absolutely. I mean, it's not one of those ones where you're like, oh man, I really hope so-and-so doesn't, it's like, it's over. I mean, it truly was just over. And, congratulations. I don't want to call it too early, but I don't think there's a huge problem with me calling it, because it's over, and United just dominated. We all saw it. We've been talking about them all night. Other teams might be like, man, I wish the caster talked about us, but it's just like, I mean, look at the points. I mean, clearly the most action was there. Clearly they did the most things, and they won 3 out of 4 games. I mean, that is outrageous.
Yeah, we caught on with God Squad. We caught on with HRV during their good game. Koch Red during their final game with the victory. Had Skyhook. A lot of their action was mainly at the start of the games, but I feel like we did a pretty decent job of getting that on camera too. But like you were saying, United just from start to finish in every single one of these games was where the camera needed to be. What was this team going to do? How are they going to impress us game after game? And even though game number 4 was a little lackluster for them is 6 kills and 6th place. So
Yeah.
that should speak for itself.
Absolutely speaks for itself. Just take a look at it. 6th place, grabbing 3 points, tack that onto the 6 kills. You got 9 points. Tack that onto there. How many points did they have? They had 83 plus what number did I say? 9? You do the math.
Oh my God, you can't go to 92 right there?
No.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely not. I mean, I could if I thought about it, but I just ain't doing it.
God Squad, sorry. Where did they end up placing in that final game? That's what I want to know. Because they were the team that had the best chance, but it seems like they were knocked kind of early, and yes. I can't find them right now. Well, I think their name is erased. I think it's one of these.
Oh, it's Team 20. They came in 17th. Source was on God Squad for sure. So
unlucky for them. Kills. I mean, United really had this one wrapped up after I think the first zone when God Squad got taken out, but nearly, I think that about does it for the stream here. Prize pool going to United. Fantastic performance. Any players or teams you want to mention just before we end here that you're proud of?
I mean, I'm proud of Koch Red. They came in at the end and they grabbed a win. They didn't get the most kills, but they swapped to something that could help them win in the final zone. You know, Robotic Knight, the Bloodhound player, picks up 4 kills and plays Gibby, which I'm sure he plays, but is somewhat of an off role for him. HRV coming in and just destroying this lobby for some reason. Maybe it's because United was out of it a little early, but even 6th place isn't that early, and they probably got a lot of those kills before they were out. Skyhook, I wish I could have seen them clutch up a little more, get that 1st place, make it happen, but weren't quite able to do it. They seem to be a rather consistent team, always in the top 10. You know, you can't say Skyhook is a bad team. I just think they're going to be waiting for next tournament. I think they should keep the same group of guys around and try to make it happen again. They just need to practice a little more, maybe figure out what they need to do. I think they get a lot of value out of that crypto, so it's hard to say, oh, they're playing off meta. Maybe that's why they're struggling. I don't think that's really it. They made a lot of good plays to keep teams off of them with that, to recover banners, to keep them in much, much longer. So a lot of these teams did do pretty well, and I'm looking at the bottom half of this, list, and it's kind of what I would have expected. Vallacy Gaming, I wish could have done more, but they never had a full 3, so not much they can truly do, Yelp.
No, Vallacy Gaming really could have made some waves here on the final day if they had their full trio. They had a lights-out final day of scrims. DOL Black was another team that I thought was doing very well today, despite being definitely an underdog in this tournament. And like you were saying, HRV had that monster game to end it, even though Koch Red won. HRV was fed that final zone, and they did not disappoint anyone with how they just found kill after kill going through that final map. But that has been it for the June Major for the Console Gaming League. And I've been Yelkrep. He's been Neely. Neely, where can they find you on Twitter? That's the last thing I'll ask you.
Neely_OW. Find me there. I don't do much OW anymore. It's mostly all Apex, but please give me a follow. It'll help me get my name out there for casting, and I always appreciate that. So, Yelp, where can they find you?
You can find me at AltULT_charge on Twitter and Twitch, and same. Doing some Overwatch, doing some collegiate casting once the school year rolls back around, but for now, it's all Apex in the summertime. And again, keep us in mind for future tournaments. We love doing this kind of stuff in Apex tournaments. They're on private codes now, so they're very rare. And if you get involved, 2 guys to call to be on the mic. Alrighty. He's been Neely. I've been Yelkreb. Signing off. Wait, I just want to make sure. Oh,